Okay, welcome back in. I'm going to continue this 32 and 32 series as we're down to the final five teams. We're almost done. This time I will be looking at the Florida Panthers. Last year they had an unbelievable season. At the end of the regular season, they had 52 wins, 24 losses, and 6 overtime slash shootout losses for 110 points. At home, they were 26-13-2, and away, they were 26-11-4. So they pretty much had identical records away and home. So it really made no difference when it came to the Florida Panthers. I don't think they had a first round pick in this year's draft, and if they did, they must have traded it away because I've done a little bit of research, but I haven't seen any picks by Florida. Like I said, there's a very good chance they could have traded with another team for whatever reason it was. So we'll take a look at Florida's roster, but before we get into that, I should mention how they finished first in the Atlantic. They played Tampa in the first round, beat Tampa for the first time ever in the Stanley Cup playoffs in 5 games. They would take on the Boston Bruins in round 2, beat them in 6 games, play the New York Rangers in the third round. They would defeat the New York Rangers in 6 games before winning the Stanley Cup in Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers. So for the first time in their franchise history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. Will they be able to repeat? Only time will tell. But as the old saying goes, third time's a charm. 96, they got swept by Colorado. 2023, they lost in 5 games to Vegas. And obviously just this past year, they would win their first Stanley Cup. So Sasha Barkov, or Andrei Barkov, has 6 years remaining on their contract. The captain of their team. Sam Bennett is heading into the last year of his deal. Nick Cousins has left. He's in Ottawa, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan Gadjevich, his contract did expire, but he has signed a 2-year, $775,000 deal. So he's guaranteed to be a Florida Panther for at least 2 more years. Ryan Lomberg is heading back to the Calgary Flames. Steven Lorentz is not on the list, so there's a very good chance he's signed elsewhere. Anton Lundell has re-signed his contract. Ido Luostarinen signed a 3-year extension at $3 million, so both those guys are guaranteed to be coming back. Kyle Okposo hasn't made a decision yet as to who he wants to play for or if he's even coming back. I mean, honestly, he just won the Cup with Florida. If he retired, at least he'd be riding out in the sunset, but nothing has been confirmed as of just yet. Sam Reinhart, his contract expired, but he has signed an extension, so he's guaranteed to be a Panther for a few years to come. Evan Rodriguez has 3 years remaining on his contract. Kevin Stenlund, I believe, has left, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he has. Vladimir Tarasenko, I'm pretty sure he signed with the Detroit Red Wings. Matthew Tkachuk has 6 years remaining on his contract. Connor Verhaeghe is heading into the last year of his deal, so I'm sure if he wants to stay as a Panther, he would love to get a deal done sooner rather than later. All right, we'll take a look at their defense now. Aaron Ekblad is heading into the last year of his contract. Oliver Ekman-Larsson did sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Gustav Forsling signed an 8-year extension at $5.75 million. Dmitry Kulikov, he is coming back. He has re-signed. Josh Mahura did leave. He is elsewhere. Nico Mikkola has 2 years left to go on his contract, and Brandon Montour has taken his talents to Seattle. So, out of their defense from last year, 1, 2, 3 people have left, and 1, 2, 3 or 4 people. So 3 or 4 people are still there. Sorry, hold on a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So 7 out of the 7 defensemen they had on the roster for the playoffs last year, 4 of them are returning. Yes, they did lose, like I said, Ekman-Larsson and Brandon Montour, but I still think they have enough depth on defense and with the acquisitions that they have made this offseason to still be very competitive for this upcoming year. For the goalies, Sergei Bobrovsky is obviously the number 1 guy. He has 2 years left to go on his contract. Anthony Stolarz has left to play as a backup in Toronto. So my prediction for the Florida Panthers is I could see them getting back to the Cup final. I could see them making it 3 years in a row. They can pretty much be the new Tampa Bay, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Yes, as I said before, they have lost a few pieces here and there, and they basically have half the decor that they did in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But overall, they're a fantastic team. I mean, there's a reason they made it to the postseason, the finals 2 straight years. And when it comes to the playoffs, the last time they didn't make it was 2019. Because in 2020, when they did the bubble, they had the little play-in round. They lost 2021, 2022, and they would lose in the second round or first round respectively. And obviously they went to the finals in 23, and then they just won it this past year. So they're very consistent when it comes to making the playoffs. And during that 4 or 5 year run, they've won the Atlantic Division twice. So it's not a fluke. Anyways, that takes care of my preview for the Florida Panthers for this upcoming season. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.